What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video and welcome back to the UK. So I just arrived this morning actually, and I am actually shocked how well this car done in terms of fuel economy. I mean, in terms of the whole trip, but I want to talk about how much it costed me on the whole thing, because I'm actually very surprised. I did not expect it to be like this. So I'm going to go into all of the details and fuel this car used, explain the distance of the trip and everything. But before that, let me show you the car. Let me show you the outside, how dirty it is, all the bugs, and there's something I need to show you guys too. All right, so obviously the car is expectedly to be dirty and have all these mosquito bugs, the front all over the place. So that's why I want to wash it today, because I do not want to leave them too long, then it gets harder to get off. But what I wanted to show you guys is, I don't know what this is called, but this is like a what's it called, the arch kind of guard or something, whatever it's called. Now this thing actually came off. I just pushed it back in because it's actually broken. This thing came off. Luckily it fell off near the house, near my house over there, and I actually found on the floor. I noticed that this piece is missing, and then I saw it on the floor, and I just pushed it in. Interesting, it stayed on even though doing 160 miles an hour in Germany. It didn't fall off. I was worried about that, but either way I'm gonna get a new one ordered. But this is disappointing. I didn't expect this to come off, so that's something that is a bit interesting. It must have been loose. I mean, not loose, but yeah, from all that driving. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna quickly look how dirty the car is. Yes, obviously you can imagine 24 hours in a car, eating, sleeping, doing everything in there. So I'm gonna spray some of this bug thing before I head into that car wash, and just to make it easier for the bugs to come off. And I'm just gonna spray my wheels so that all the brake dust, because there's so much brake dust. Check this out. Yeah, there's a lot, and I want this to do the job, so I'm gonna spray this first and then afterwards clean the inside. So let's get this car clean. All right, car wash done. Definitely not really happy with this car wash, because check these wheels out. That's after me applying my brake cleaner. Still pretty dirty, and the bugs didn't come off. I had to wipe them down. Luckily I had a microfiber, but if you look close, the car's not pretty clean, but it's a lot better than it was before, that's for sure. Anyways, that's good for now. Gonna get it cleaned properly the next couple of days. All right guys, so this is the next day. I actually forgot to finish that video because I got distracted by cleaning the car, and then I just had so many things to do and I completely forgot about doing this video. So it's the next day. You'll see me a bit different, but what I do want to talk about is a few things. It's very noisy here because there's a motorway just right over there. So let's get in the car and talk about what I really wanted to talk about in this video. Because, as I said, that's a bit better. Hopefully you guys can hear me better. As I said, that I'm really shocked how great this car did in terms of fuel economy. Now, I personally thought that fuel is not going to be too good. I didn't expect it to be extremely terrible, because I know on motorways driving this car it is a bit better because it's a bigger engine. It doesn't really have to work very hard if you do regular speeds. So I personally was averaging around 90 miles an hour, 95 miles an hour in Germany. And before we let me first explain the whole trip. Okay, so from where I am until the place, my final destination, is 1,130 something miles. Okay, so that's probably around almost 2,000 kilometers each way. So the way there, just lower the music. So the way there, this is going to be the fuel costs. Now every country, the fuel prices are different, and of course every fuel station the prices are different, especially on motorways. Always fuel is more expensive, and almost all of my fuel stops were on motorways, so I definitely did pay a bit of a premium on fuel. But let me start this. The best place to fuel up is Poland. The cheapest prices over there It's just, as you guys saw in my previous video, it's under £1 a litre. So I started out from London with a full tank and had to fuel up twice on the way. So the way out, 1,100 and let's just say 1,150 miles for the sake of it, just to make it rounded up, okay? The way out, I had to do 3 fuel stops. So I did 3.5 fuel tanks on this car. Now, a fuel tank on this car, I believe, is around 60 liters. Could be, I might be a bit wrong, but somewhere around there. So I just done a quick Google search. It's actually 66 liters. So I was kind of almost right there. So 66 liters, a full tank. And as I said, I did 3.5 tanks on the way out. And I was averaging around 30 to 32 miles per gallon on motorways. And I'm really impressed with that, because, as I said, it's a 4-litre V8, and I had a heavy car. I had myself, my wife, my 2 kids, and a full car, basically all my baggage. The car was literally full, so the car was heavy. And as I said, I'm really impressed with 3.5 tanks. That's basically almost 3, well, do the math, 3, 6, 9, that's close to 350 miles per tank, which is really good. And also on the way out, as I mentioned on my previous video, no, that was 2 videos ago, I did have a bit of traffic, so I would say I added on about 1.5 hours on time onto my journey. So the total driving time was about 23 hours, 22 to 23 hours, excluding stops. So bear in mind, traffic means more fuel burning. So that was the way out. Now, what gets even better, and I'm really shocked. I'm really shocked. Honestly, I'm really shocked. The way back was even better than that. The way back, I had no traffic. I was driving through the night, and of course through day and night, and I even managed to do some autobahn runs. I didn't video much, but I do have a video. Here you go. So as you guys saw, I pulled 160 until the limiter. Pretty easy. The car was in comfort mode. I didn't do it aggressively because I had passengers in the car. I just cruised 160 for a minute or 2 just to kind of have the feeling, and I must say it was really good down the German autobahn. Now, despite that, I was averaging around 90, I would say around 90 miles an hour down Germany, and most of the other motorways around 80 to 85 miles an hour. And this is the real shocking thing for me. This car did from Poland back to UK just under 3 tanks, under 3 fuel tanks. I even had 2 bars left on my fuel tank when I arrived to my house here, and that really blew me away. That really blew me away, guys. Under 3 tanks for 1,150 miles. That is, in my opinion, amazing, and especially for the car I'm driving. And as I said, it wasn't an empty car, it was a heavy car as well, full of baggage, full of stuff that we bought over there. And yes, it did really well. So this is something that I'm really proud of, and I'm so happy. I know I've been telling you on the last who knows how many videos how great this car is, but this car is really great. Guys, and one more important point I need to point out, because you see this button here. The first thing I always do when I get into my car is basically disable this button, because I can't stand this start stop thing. However, I just randomly noticed, I left it on, and on motorways, what happens is, when you're cruising and you take your foot off the pedal, basically when you got cars in front of you, so you don't need to accelerate, what happens is the revs go back down to the way it's now. So what it does is it basically takes the car out of gear. And by doing that over a long journey, leaving this button on, I guess that definitely helped me saving fuel. And again, I didn't do this intentionally, I just noticed it randomly while driving, and I was like, wow, why is the gear going into neutral when I take off my foot? And then when I put it back on, it goes back to the right gear, so you don't even feel it. But that is definitely one of the important things to mention, because this probably did make a difference as well. Other than that little piece that I showed you before around the wheel arch that came off, this car done exceptionally well. So I'm really happy with this. And yeah, it was an amazing trip. I did actually reset my trip, or I think I did, but it doesn't really make sense because it's showing me that I did 5,000, just over 5,000 miles since the reset, and I reset it just as I left my house, so it doesn't make sense because I don't think I did 5,000 miles. Maybe I did. Doesn't make sense though. So I'm not sure if I did reset it or I didn't do it properly. Something doesn't make sense. But if I did do 5,000 miles, it was definitely worth it. Happy 5,000 miles. I don't buy my cars to keep as garage queens, or I mean, I wouldn't keep as a garage queen anyways, but I do like to enjoy my cars. On my CLA 45, I did 2 of these trips, and yeah, I enjoy the miles per gallon, as I said. So guys, to sum it up, this car does really, really good on motorway driving long term. In town, it's a complete different story. But yeah, I'm really blown away by this, and I'm shocked. So this is really what I wanted to share with you guys. So thanks for watching this video. Let me know if you expected this, because so many people ask me, like, what was the fuel like? What's the fuel like on the car? Because they know it's a heavy car. And yeah, it was really, really good. So thanks for watching, guys. Please give this video a like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye now.